Imagine designing the internet, but discovering you have no bridges, no roads, no highways. This is what Web3 was, and this is why we built Lava. So yeah, I want to start with a question. Who here run nodes? Who here run nodes? You have one, two. Yeah, there's a few people in the crowd. But it doesn't make sense to run node anymore, right? Like when you're building your own app, you want to focus the resources and everything on Lava, on building your own nodes. So this is exactly what's happening today, right? The reality is that most apps don't run the nodes anymore, and they're using amazing node providers, more reputable one, less reputable one, to do this for them. So this is what we were thinking at the beginning when we thought about Lava. At the end of the day, when you're focusing all your resources about developing your own app, you want to make sure that there is a blockchain that dApps, AI agents, wallets can use in order to coordinate the traffic for you. You want to make sure that the resources you invest not depending on that. And that's what we build in Lava. It's a coordination layer, kind of an on-chain Cloudflare to route the traffic, aggregate all the nodes runner on one hand and all the dApps users on the other hand. So our aha moment when we jumped into Web3 four years ago, and we wanted to build an NFT marketplace, we did some MEV, and we were always going into this problem, the problem of RPC, remote procedure call. But RPC is basically the language of blockchain. It's how we communicate with each and every chain. And this is the best layer that all of us reading, writing transaction. So we wanted to build the best fucking RPC out there, a decentralized, scalable, reliable, that can give access to any chain, no matter it's just a new one, testnet, mainnet, but a goal was to make blockchain as seamless to access as the internet. And I can give the analogy of blockchain like cities. In cities, you have pedestrians, you have buildings, you have businesses, and the same like blockchains. In blockchains, you have the dApps and the wallets and AI agents today. But if you don't have the roads, it cannot make sense, and all the city doesn't function. So we wanted to provide the road in order to make it easy for the accessing and infrastructure. So this is what Lava is, giving frictionless, always access to any chain out there. And obviously, the first wins were the dApps, right? We started developing Lava and gave access to different dApps, exchanges, and use the service. Instead of them having downtime when trusting a single provider, instead of them not sure about problems like privacy, unreliable data, whether it's the latest block, all of that made sense to use an aggregated layer, aggregating different node provider and scoring them based on their performance. So we enjoy the adoptions of dozens of dApps. And it obviously made us closer also to the chains, to the foundation. So we were working closely and closely with the foundation until they came and say, actually, what Lava is providing a public good. A public good for any chain that also needs those node runners. Today, every chains are approaching amazing node runners such as Alchemy, Blockdaemon, Chainstack, and they need to have budgets for that. They need to monitor. Sometimes they have lock-in contracts. So how do they make sure at the end of the day it's infra budget that goes to their goals? So we believe Lava has the answers, and this is why the foundation reached out to us. Imagine that they have a full service and they can deploy the infrastructure budget on posts. And this is where the different foundations started to give the budget to Lava and created what we call pools, incentivized pools. The idea is simple. Any blockchain can create an open pool and depositing the infrastructure budget. Providers such as a reputable one or node community one can join each pool and provide service. Everyone who is building on this chain are routing to those providers, and the provider receive rewards from this pool based on the quality of service. And the adoption was amazing. We just launched the product last year, and we already captured double-digit percent of market share in Web3. Also, the retention is amazing, and we have 100% of retention rate, which is clearly hinting we're getting into the product market. So just to recap, today you can see that in our stats page, there are dozens of node runners all over the world. And sometimes I see, windows inside the ocean on this global Earth page, and I understand that this is Hawaii, this is a rare island, and it's amazing to see that we allow the possibility for node runners to monetize their service if they're already running that. There is a permissionless growth. Every chain we're supporting, today more than 50 chains, top dApps are using. Chains like Near, Filecoin, Starknet, Cosmos, and dozens of others are already using the service, which daily provides access billions of requests, and also the pools. The pools already distributed $1 million in revenues, also back to the providers doing their amazing service. So then the other evolution that we've seen in the last year was where institutional validation comes into place. And after a few back and forth with Fireblocks, we're going to announce soon a case study with them that they were battle testing the solution. As a hint, Israeli to Israeli is very difficult. But they were saying something amazing. During Trump meme coin, they had a war zone making sure that everything needs to be running. And they had with Lava 100% uptime. 100% is not something you have anywhere else. So they decided to take the solution and build kind of a super ultra load balancer that can get any provider, even providers that not currently on Lava, and make sure that the load balancer is seamless. So I mentioned at the beginning, if we want to think what is kind of Lava, how we can compare that to Web 2, we can think of kind of an on-chain Cloudflare to make the standard of access in Web 3. So if you had REST that became kind of the standard REST APIs, I believe it's the same analogy to what Lava is doing. First, traffic routing. Doesn't matter when the traffic to your end user are coming from, whether it's Japan, South Africa, in Dubai, you will always have service. Second, invisible backbone. Many users, today we have millions of unique users daily. They never heard about Lava. It's just functioning behind the scenes. And it's an essential infrastructure. That's the third one. Because Lava is quietly starting to be everywhere. So if we want to work together to become a standard, we want to make sure that every dev, every dApp developer, every institutional have one endpoint that it can get access to all Web3. And with that, I want to announce today, together with the foundation, about an assistance fund. The assistance fund is a new coordination layer that's designed to align all the protocol activities around Lava. This activity will be transparent and tracked on a public dashboard. So yeah, I'm super excited about that. And so just to summarize, the infrastructure layer is being decided today. We have billions of different requests per month, millions of unique users, empowering more than 50 chains and growing. every major trend that we have in Web3, doesn't matter if it's AI now, if it's RWA, if it's rollups, at the end of the day, every chain up and coming, they need a resilient, super bulletproof infrastructure. Today it's already trusted by top custodians, top foundations, and builders. And we're just starting. So Lava is quietly becoming this access layer. And it's open source. So everyone is able to join. You're either building on it, or you're building on something, on someone that's building on it. Guys, the floor is Lava. Thank you so much.